definition is synchronizing. Let me see if I can use my pen and synchronizing. I know you're excited when you forget. Which means to cause to occur or to operate at the same time or rate. To get in sync. The bodies we're talking about are the spirit, soul, and body, or what we call the flesh. And events. Something that takes place, such as any activity in your life. That which happens, going to happen, must happen. It means to come or to go out. This is what we're dealing with. How do we synchronize our spirit, soul, and flesh, our bodies, into the events that must take place? It's nothing you can control or nothing you can make happen. These are the everyday activities of your life that are already planned out. Let's start reading the book of Matthew chapter 16. Let's start dealing with some truth right off the bat. Matthew chapter 16. And in Matthew 16, we're going to verse 21. Matthew chapter 16, verse 21. Ashe? Hallelujah, brothers and sisters. All right, Matthew 16, 21.
Howbeit this kind goes not out but by prayer and fasting.
Hallelujah. 16, you're 17.
Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry.
16, 21.
From that time forth began Jesus to show unto his disciples how that he must go into Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and chief priests and scribes and be killed and be raised again the third day.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. This verse is not just about Yeshua's life. It's about all of our lives because we fit in the same scheme. Yeshua said in verse 21, verse 21, he said, they said from that time, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, from that time.
That's right.
All right? And time is a change of what? Events. Okay? That's what time is, a change of events. Everything in your life from this point on is no longer something you're expecting. It's something that's actually just going to take place. In other words, the events that you're already synchronized with are not going to happen. They're already occurring. In other words, they're already set in motion and they're already taking place. In other words, whatever is set up for us on tomorrow is already occurring right now. You have no power. I have no power to change these course of events. Listen carefully. They will take place. This concept that the Europeans use the word synchronize and synchronize is an ancient African concept, which we're going to go into. It's not European. All right? It's ancient African. So what is going to happen to you is not by chance, fortune, accident, a risk, etc., etc. It is something in your life that is meant to take place. All right? So Yeshua said from that time, the scripture said from that time, Yeshua began to do something, to show them something, because his time had come. Whatever is going to happen in your life, your time will come, because it's a part of the event that is to take place. If that time does not occur, it's not meant to be. That's all of us. I wanted to be a martial arts movie star. I really did. I trained diligently for it. Didn't occur. I'm not unhappy. It just wasn't my destiny. All right? What's the actor name that played Tonto in the Lone Ranger? Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp did not set out to be an actor. He went to a friend to a casting call. The director looked at him and said, he looks right for the part. That was not by accident, nor by chance. He was supposed to be in that place on that day, at that time, for that event. We have to understand everything that occurs sets you up to be where you're supposed to be, good or bad. All right? Understand that. That's important. Because you cannot really ascend to your high level if you don't understand your journey in this world. That's what that tree of life is all about. Let's go to Matthew 16. Excuse me. We read 16. Let's go to Luke chapter 24, verse 46. To do what we're talking about, we're going to Luke 24, 46. To do what we're talking about, syncing ourselves with the events, because you must sync yourself with every event in your life, meaning it should not be a shock to you nor a surprise. When you're in sync with your life journey, whatever happens should not throw you off the course of that journey. Everybody with me? Yes. Luke chapter 24, verse 46.
And said unto them, thus it is written, and thus it behooved Christ to suffer, and to rise from the dead the third day.
Hallelujah. Understand what Yahshua said. When the disciples questioned him about his mission, Master, get off of it. Because everybody knew they were going to kill you. If you're in the Roman district and you're going against Rome in any way, shape, or form, you're about to get crucified. Yahshua said, no, brother, it's written. This is one of the events that must take place in my life. It is part of my destiny. So Yahshua had no fear of his death or the event. When he stood before Pilate and Pilate questioned him, and understand when you read that, Yahshua had the ability to answer and escape. Meaning, he could have answered properly, Pilate would let him go free. The question was, are you a king? Because remember, there's no other king under who? Under Caesar. Pilate, Rome. You declare yourself a king, they'll murder you quick. And he said to Pilate and to Herod, you said it, meaning you know it. That event had to happen. He could have answered and saved his life, but he didn't. When you have these bodies in sync, harmonized with one another and unified with one another, then you know the course of your path. When those bodies are not in sync, when things happen, it shocks us, it surprises us, it brings fear in us, mesmerize us, do any other thing, but keep us in our spiritual, natural state. It is written, meaning your whole life is already written out. Didn't Yahweh tell Jeremiah, we're going to touch on it, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I already knew you. And before you came forth from the womb, I already ordained you a prophet. Meaning I knew your destiny before you got to your mother's womb. And I laid it all out, your whole life, before you enter into the world. Everything that happens like a calendar. It's supposed to take place. Let's read two scriptures, brothers. One of them we're familiar with, Isaiah 45:7 and Genesis 1:31. Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7. Excuse me, I may have said 70. Isaiah 45:7 and Genesis 1:31. Hallelujah. All right. Isaiah 45:7 and Genesis 1:31. Which brother going to be reading from Isaiah? All right, brother Sekou will read from Isaiah, and brother Yabar will read from Genesis. Genesis 1:31, first Isaiah 45:7. Yes, sir, brothers.
I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things.
Hallelujah.
And Yahweh saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day.
Hallelujah. Brother Sekou, read yours again, brother, please.
I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things.
Yahweh created the good and the evil. That's what he said. He said, I do it. No one else but me. Is that correct? But yet in Genesis 1:31, he said everything he created was good. Is that correct? I want to make sure I have it right. There are no accidents. There are no lucks of chance. Everything in your life is already preordained, already occurring, whether it's good or whether it's bad. Yahweh said it works for my good, therefore it works for your good. A lot of things must take place in life to try us, to test us, and to make us stronger. All three, two of them, or one of them, is to either try you, to test you, or simply to make you stronger, or the two or the three. But everything the Most High created is good. And when I look back, as I meditated this week, giving the Creator praise for the building we're going to go in, why were we here?
Come on.
And the Most High answered me and made me feel dumb as he did Job, because I planned it.
Come on, brother.
I couldn't say anything because Brother Tabitha, because he may ask me the next question. Where were you when I did all this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I gave thanks and praises for the answer that the Most High gave me. So, everything good and bad in your life has been preordained because the Creator knew each one of us before we entered our mother's womb and before we came out. So I analyzed, like I always do, everything I watch. Didn't watch anything in particular this week, but my mind went back to a movie called Final Destination. Everybody had an event of death coming in their life. Everybody tried to avoid that event because that's a terrible thing. But they couldn't avoid it, could they?
No, sir.
In other words, when you get off your path, the universe has a way of opening another gate or door to get you back to where you need to be because that event must take place. Everything in your life must happen. We did not meet by accident. Brother Tabitha introduced Queen Sana and I to Brother Zakiya and Sister Zakiya. That was not by accident. It was already in my occurrence of our lives that he and Sister Nalinga would introduce us to Sister Zakiya and Brother Zakiya. It was meant to happen.
That's right.
Nothing happens out of place. The universe, understand this, is in a working order. The only thing that gets out of that working order is us. That's why I said earlier the universal forces, according to the ancient African teachings, push you back to where you need to be. If I'm supposed to be in church here at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, I can try to get off that course, but the universe is going to make a way for me to get back there if that's where I'm supposed to be. Everything is planned. Let's go to the Purim Haru, page 350. The Purim Haru, page 350. You have yours, Brother Yabari?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll tell you where to read, brother. Page 350. Do we have it, brothers and sisters? All right, let's read, brother, the bottom paragraph where it says, open unto us. Excuse me, unto me.
Open unto me. Who then art thou? Whither goest thou? What is thy name? I am one of you. Assembler of souls is the name of my boat. Making the hair to stand on end is the name of the oars. Watchful one is the name of his bows. Evil is the name of the rudder. Stirring straight from the middle is the name of the matching back. So likewise, the boat is a type of myself.
Right there. Thank you, brother.
All right.
This is every soul. Every time you read Asa Ani, in the Greek they have Osiris Ani. That represents the deceased. Okay? So the deceased asks the question, who are you? There is a rower in the boat of Ra. Who are you? He goes on to give his name. He said, my name is evil. But before he said my name is evil, he said, I am what? Look at it. He says, I am one of you. One means to be a part of, a unit. I'm a part of you. Then he says, I am Machabet. Machabet, that first part is the short form of Mad. And Machabet is the hand of Ma'at. The hand of Ma'at. Because it's the hand of the goddess that guides you through life. This is the evil part of your life that is a part of you. But if you understand the Paramharu, you got a guide with you. I am that rudder that guides. Because it's the rudder that moves the boat. All right? Turn it to the left, turn it to the right, keep it straight. I am the hand of Ma'at. Why is the hand of Ma'at called evil? Say again, sister.
The left hand?
All praises be to the Most High. The right hand is good, the left hand is evil. So the spirit, that's Mama Maya, right? Yes, that's the goddess. The spirit guides you through life and is with you through your trials of good and evil. There is no ducking what life has dealt you. You can't get upset with your life. Not anymore, not after today. You can't be depressed with life. You can't be angry with your life. And you cannot blame anyone for your life. Because you chose your life.
Wow. Yes.
How the preacher say in Christian church? Say it again, preacher. You chose your life.
Yes, sir.
So everything laid out, you chose to get on that path and to become who you are and what you are and to face everything that you now face in life and will face. Because everything in your life is constantly occurring. Everything, past, present, and future, is linked like a chain. Everything, you created in the image and likeness of who? The Creator. And did not the Creator say, I am the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow, forever? If you are in the image of the Creator, you're in the life of the Creator, you're in the path of the Creator, so your past, present, and future is also linked. Everything is already predetermined, predestinated, already written out. Final destination, try to change it if you want. And I guarantee you the Creator will bring you back where he, she want you to be. We can't escape it. All right? Go to Romans chapter 8, verse 28. Romans chapter 8, verse 28. It was a sting for me too.
Yeah.
Gird your loins and take it. Because the Creator had made me meditate on it. And I could no longer say this and that was a mistake. I shouldn't have never done it. No, I had to do it. Romans chapter 8, verse 28. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Romans 8, 28.
And we know that all things work together for good, to them that love Yahweh, to them who are the called according to his purpose.
All things, everything, every event in your life, good or bad, good or evil. All right? Everything in your life works together for your good if you are in tune with the Creator. Isn't that right? That's key. You got to be in tune with the Creator, and you cannot be in tune with the Creator if you're not synced with yourself. When we're off balance, we're not one with the Most High. We have to have our spirit, our soul, and our flesh, our bodies, in tune to be in tune with the Most High, that we may be in tune with our destiny. And once we get there, everything, good or bad, will work out for your good. When it doesn't work out for our good, teaches the ancestors, it's because we destroyed that part which is to come. What do you mean destroy? You say it just had to happen. It does have to take place, but you can destroy the time that it's supposed to take place. Did y'all catch that? You can destroy the time. You can make yourself wait longer. In other words. What you said, sister?
You didn't get the lesson, so you had to go
We
back.
evidently, so we have to go back to repeat those steps to get to where we need to be. This is a hard part of life. This is why people really don't want to get spiritual, want to be religious. Because we want God to handle all our problems when they arise, but your problems are in your life, just like the good things you take and enjoy. You got to take the bad and learn to work with it. Ashe? Most of us are not able to find this path or walk on this path and get in sync with life's events, brothers and sisters, because we fail to see the spirit, soul, and body must be one. In Africa, it's different. In Western religion, you got to separate yourself from that part of you. African traditional beliefs, all of them don't believe that. They believe that the secular and the mundane are one. Nelson Mandela spoke on it before he made his transition. That in his, I can't think of the name, but his belief of the Zulu people, there is no difference between good and evil. They are actually one because both are in sync and must take place in your life. Every event must happen. Can't change it. Why did brother so-and-so walk across the street and get hit by that bus and die? It was destiny. We got to understand it's already written. There are no accidents. There are no accidents. It's already written. It sounds bad, but it's already written. All the scripture is going to show you in a second. It's already written. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. Why did Yeshua have to be crucified, beaten and crucified? Already written. It was written before he got there. So nothing can change. First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 23.
And the very God of peace sanctify you wholly. And I pray, Yahweh, your whole spirit and soul and body be preserved, blameless unto the coming of our Lord Yeshua.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
23. Your very God of peace sanctify, make you holy. Right?
Yeah.
And what makes you whole as a whole individual, that word W-H-O-L-L-Y, whole. He said, I pray that your whole spirit, soul, and body, the spirit, soul, and body are one. There is no separation. You can't separate it. You can't say the flesh is evil. The flesh is not evil. Because this is where the Creator put the spirit. So if we're evil, why would the Creator put the spirit in the evil? The flesh is a part of the soul, which is a part of the spirit, which is a part of the flesh. All of this must be unified in one in order for you to complete your journey. We cannot complete the journey because we half-stepping. You have some who say in order to get to the Creator, you must be all good. half of you is missing. You have others who say, I'm a witch, I'm a warlock, whatever, and they're all evil. But the righteous man and woman, y'all excuse my shadowing, black is not as bad, is made up of both of these. And both of these are in sync in you. And the evil helps you deal with all evil, tragedies, etc., that takes place in your life. You need that part of you. You need it. All right? We're going to get to the nitty gritty. Let's go to Surah 9:51. You need it. It's not going anywhere. Surah 9. I've been to many funerals, done many funerals. Why my mama had to die? Why my daddy had to die? It's destined. My date is already written out. Your date is written out, just like your birth date was already written out. All right? Surah 9, verse 51.
Say nothing will afflict us save that which Allah has ordained for us. He is our patron, and on Allah let the believers rely.
Hallelujah. Where here said patron, mine says protector. All right? Nothing will happen, meaning nothing can happen except what the God has already decreed. And the word decree means order. Set in motion. Isn't that correct? When he wanted, speaking of Satan, Job, did he just come to attack Job, or did he have to go get permission?
Permission.
And when he came to get that permission from Yahweh to attack Job, did not Yahweh say, where have you been? In other words, I knew this day was coming. I already wrote it in his life. What took you so long? Everything has to happen because the Most High has already decreed it, spoken it, ordered it, written it out, that this is your life, this is how long it will last. These are the things that will take place in it. The number of children you will have, the husband, the wife that you will finally get, the home that you will rest in,
Hallelujah.
the career job that you settle in, and the ones you have experienced, everything is already linked together in one accord. So in Psalm 23:4, we know it. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. David said, yea, though I walk. David did not fall into evil. David knew that this was his destiny to face every trial, temptation, and struggle he had. He said, although I walk through it. Because it's my destiny. I don't fear it when I see it. Like I said, when you're in sync spiritually, your soul is spiritually in sync, your body is in sync, nothing should put fear or shock or really amazement in you. I have reached this point, Queen Asana knows, when my truck went down, she called me. I did not make it. Okay.
Yeah. And hallelujah on that.
What can I do? It was meant to be. I praise the Creator. What was not written in there is that her and my youngest got hurt.
Thanks and praise.
Because the bearings broke. Wheel came off. They could have been on the highway, could have ran into someone, could have flipped. Everything now, understand, in your life, you know it's already meant to be. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So you got to walk through all your valleys of the shadow of death. But understand this, knowing that now everything that must take place will take place, is no point to fear or fret or worry yourself about it.
Hallelujah.
It's done. Go to Surah 6, please. Verse 59. And I'm going to go in the Quran. We'll read two of them. Surah 6:59. And I'm going to go to Surah 22, verse 70. Surah 6, verse 59. And I'm going to Surah 22 and verse 70. Do we have it? I'll have those numbers. Do I need to repeat them?
659.
Yeah.
6:59 and then 22, 70.
and with him are the treasures of the unseen. None knows them but he, and he knows what is in the land and the sea. And there falls not a leaf, but he knows it. Nor is there a grain in the darkness of the earth.
All right, hallelujah.
Nor anything green or dry, but it is all in a clear book.
All right, that's it.
Hallelujah.
It is all in a clear book. Let me add a word mine have. It is all recorded. I want to use certain words. Recorded means already what? Written. All right, Surah 70 reads, Knowest thou not that Allah knows all that is in the heavens and on earth? Indeed, it is all in a record, and that is easy for Allah. Everything, there's not a seed planted in the earth, said the Creator, that I don't know supposed to take place. In other words, you didn't plant it because somebody gave you the seed. It's already written because the Creator said, I knew that seed on that day was going to earth at that time. Everything is recorded. But the key, brothers and sisters, is this. In order to sync the spirit, soul, and body, we have to travel somewhere. Travel means we got to ascend. But to ascend, you have to travel through what is called Sephiroth. Sephiroth are emanations of light. But each Sephiroth that you journey through has its own path, plural. In other words, these lines just don't represent the path. When you start at Mount Coop, which is foundation, you have many paths here before you can ascend to foundation, yes, sir. Before you can move to the next, and the next, and the next, and the next, to reach the higher Sephiroth, which is Keter, or the crown. And then tune with your 7 chakras, correct? Yes. Because Keter is also spelled with an H there, but the H is silent. And the highest chakra is called what? The crown, and is also called Keter. All right? So we have to sync these 3 bodies that we may remain on our path, that we may have a smooth journey through each emanation of life. Smooth. Whether that path is good or bad. Even the bad would be smooth for you. I missed my parents. My father made his transition in June 2008, the day after his birthday. And my mother went in August of 2008. But it was a smooth transition. Because I knew this time in life had to come. And I couldn't make a change. You can't change it. You can't wish someone to be here. When their time comes, they open that door and they leave. And when your time comes, you open that door and you leave. That is correct. This area here is known as Ein Sof. Ein has 2 definitions. Absolutely nothing. All right? Absolutely nothing. Or infinite knowledge. All right? And the reason infinite knowledge is combined with absolutely nothing, because if you reach a level of infinite knowledge, there is nothing that you do not know, cannot see, cannot touch, cannot hear, cannot perform. In other words, as they teach in Kabbalah, there is nothing to hold you back. That's why Yahshua said with the Father, all things are possible. He said with men it's impossible. So if you're just acting on the flesh, man, bodily person, woman, it's impossible. Once you're in sync, on your path and in tune with the Creator, everything is impossible. And I've been studying and trying to find. Don't you know that in ancient Africa, we did not have a word for impossible?
Awesome.
We did not know what impossible meant. In the African teachings, we just thought and did. We thought and we brought it forth. We thought about a building and we built it. We thought about a village and we established it. We thought about harmony and we got in it. We thought about music and we just played it.
We did.
There was nothing that was deemed impossible.
Yes.
These are European concepts that we have taken on because a European has no spirit, has no soul, and only flesh. So they bring us down to their level. Only think right here.
Yes, sir.
Stay with us. We're good to you. We'll treat you right. Is that right?
Stay with us.
You got your permanent rule, your wisdom text?
Okay.
Shay, let's go to page 23. 23. Who has their wisdom text with them? Sister Zakiya. We want to read that little line under the eyeball of Heru.
What page?
Page 23. All right.
Okay, it says the eye of Heru is the quintessential system of the awakening to divine consciousness, representing the concept of Nehas.
Hallelujah. Nehas is what we need. Nehas is higher consciousness or endless wisdom. Higher consciousness or endless wisdom. All right? This is what the eye of Heru represents. And remember, Yeshua said when your eye is how many? One. Single. So we're talking about opening this eye.
Yes.
How do we get all these people opening that first eye when that's where they are?
Right.
They really can't see past the flesh. But they always talk about how awakened they are. If you have a color preference amongst black people,
Come on.
you can't be awakened.
That's right.
If you stuck on dark skin or light skin.
Yeah.
If you say you're a Native American, but you're not African, you're not awakened.
Yes, sir. That's right. That's right.
If you call yourself a Moor, but you're not black, you can't be awakened.
Something wrong with you.
The word Moor itself is not even African or Arabic.
No, sir.
Moor comes from the French word moor, which means dark, swarthy, or black. And everything of Africa was called a Moor. Everything of Africa was called a Moor.
Yes, sir.
As a matter of fact, when we got on dry land over here from off the ships, there were some Englishmen who referred to every African enslaved as a Moor. No matter what village they came from. It's just a French word. So how can you not be black and call yourself black in the white man's language?
Come on.
This is what higher consciousness does. It wakes you up to real truth, not half truth.
Come on, brother. Bring it on.
So we got to reach the level. We're on a journey for En Sof. And Sof, means wisdom. This is a Semitic word, it's your word. But from this word, they created a female named Sophia.
Oh.
That's what Sophia means, wisdom.
What does that whole phrase mean, Dr.
And so, endless, absolutely endless, or endless wisdom. Sophia means wisdom. Sophia represents, or Soph represents the spirit, the mother. Soph is a feminine word, not a masculine. All right? But that's where our modern day Sophia comes from. All right, we're going to go to John chapter 9. John chapter 9, verses 1, 2, and 3. Like I said, this is an African concept to get in sync with the universe and get in sync with yourself. Now, isn't it amazing? That's what we're always saying. I got to get in tune or in sync with the universe. Yes. Because That's how we travel. But everybody must be in tune with the other body in order to travel that journey. All right, John chapter 9, verses 1, 2, and 3.
And as Yeshua passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Yeshua answered, Neither hath this man sinned, nor his parents, but that the works of Yahweh should be made manifest in him.
Hallelujah. When you are in sync with yourself and with the Creator on your path, you understand that every action and every event in your life must take place. Why, Yeshua, was this man born blind? Who caused it? His mother or his father? Yeshua said nobody caused it. It was already written. He was supposed to come into this world like this so that I may meet him this day on this day to show the power of the Most High. But Pastor, what about those who are blind and there's no one to heal them? Stevie Wonder was supposed to have came that way. Why? Because if he had not, you wouldn't have gotten Stevie Wonder.
That's right.
Because the blind senses
Wow. That's right.
are 7 times stronger than yours and mine. The same thing with the deaf who has touch. Their sense of touch is 7 times stronger than yours and mine. Stevie chose his path because evidently his soul had a great love for music. And maybe the Creator, I'm just saying, what would you give for that? Take my sight and give my hands. Give me the ear to hear the pitch, the sound, the tone. We don't understand. Don't feel sorry for someone who's more talented than yourself.
That's right.
Feel sorry for yourself. Because I can't play the piano, keyboard, and I don't have that ear for music. But when I hear it, I love it so much that I want to play, wish I could sing.
Yes.
You can sing.
You can sing.
So everybody got their destiny on it. That's on my destiny. All praises be to the Most High. But these are to show us, brothers and sisters, that there are no accident, no evil takes place in a woman's womb that cause something to happen to the child. These things have already been written out, good or bad. It works for the good of that individual in the God. Although Stevie Wonder has not seen a day in his life, I can say he has enjoyed a beautiful life.
Absolutely.
He has done and have gone places you and I have yet to go or to do. So he has enjoyed his life. Ray Charles was asked, because he lost his sight as a child, would he want his sight back?
He said no.
He said no. Because his soul knew this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what made me Ray Charles. All right? So in ancient Kemet, it is taught that its effect is a part of your daily course. Its effect is the Kemetic word for evil. Evil is a part of your daily course. In other words, you need Heru and Set. Do you not? Because Heru and Set brings what? Balance. Heru, I'll prove it to you. Y'all know I'm a movie man. What was the name of the movie when Wesley Snipes had the blonde hair? Demolition Man. Right?
That's right.
And the society tried to set up an all good society. It didn't work. It didn't work. Wesley Snipes came and he showed them it didn't work. Did y'all catch that?
Yes.
They needed guns. They needed strong authority. They needed power. They wanted a smooth, mild running society. It'll never work. Because when a harsh time comes, Wesley was proof. What do you do then?
Pick them up.
Had to wake up quick, didn't it? It will not work. You need balance. You need Set and Heru. Why do you need Set and Heru? Because the Creator said, I created Set and Heru. The good and the evil. And as you journey and get in sync, it is the hidden knowledge. That's why this is red. This separate right here is not visible. But guess where it is? It's in your chest. Meaning it's in you. So you need the knowledge of the wisdom of the understanding to get to catch it. There's a price to pay.
Yes, it is.
And the price is, if you want it, you have to go through it. Yea, though I walk. That was not a one-time event for David. David was talking about all the occurrences in his life. You have to go through all your cycles of good and evil to get to where you need to be. There is no such thing as a perfect, sin-free life. No such thing. It does not exist. Now I'm going to prove it. Genesis chapter 2, verse 9. Let's go back and see what Yahweh showed you. Genesis 2:9. You have to get in sync, brothers and sisters. We off balance. Genesis chapter 2, verse 9. Hallelujah. Oh, praise be to
And
God.
out of the ground made Yahweh to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
Hallelujah. Yahweh created every tree. He created some trees. No, I say he created every tree. To be Naim. Pleasant. Listen to me, I'm giving you the Hebrew definition. Pleasant. Beautiful. Sexually desired. And delightful. Pleasant. Beautiful. Sexually desired. And delightful. He said he created every one of them for that purpose. All right? Now, every tree. Look at verse 9. He said, I created every tree that would be good for food. For your experience, for your taste, for your touch, for your journey. I created every tree good for food. Not talking about just physically, mentally and spiritually. Now, is not the tree of good, of the knowledge of good and evil, in there with the tree of life? So everything is meant to be. I created this for your good, for your journey. I even created the evil for you to desire. Did you catch it? I created the evil to draw you towards it for your journey. How are you going to run from it? That's why I say it's nothing to fear. When you realize that, if a man comes in front of us, brothers, and he's 10 times bigger than myself or yourself, and he's ready to draw back on you, what are you running from? You're going to meet him again if you try to get away.
That's right.
It's destined for you to meet that brother that day. It's destined. Nothing is going to change destiny. All right, so we got the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. All of it the Creator made. Nobody else created it. And I created it for your delight. I created it for you to eat off of it. You got to experience it. That's what he's talking about. You have to experience it, right?
Right, sir.
All right. Now, roll over to 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. So now you know evil is here. It's not going anywhere. It's how you handle it. All right? It's not going anywhere. It's how you handle it. It's how you deal with it. And to deal with it, you have to have the knowledge of what to do. 1 John Going back to Revelation, after Hebrews. After Hebrews, yeah, you got James, Peter, then John.
All right.
And we're going to 1 John, chapter 4. Are we there? 1 John, chapter 4, verse 1.
Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of Yahweh, because many false prophets are gone out into the world.
Translators translate that word spirit as religions, teachings, doctrines, prophets. In other words, however you get it. The Creator said, do not put your faith in everything you experience. He said, but try everything you experience. Your experience is not my experience. You got it?
Yes.
But whatever you experience in life, good and bad, it was already in your course to try. Don't let nobody say to you, brother, sister used to do so and so. That's a bad thing. Now you have to understand, no, it was a thing that's supposed to take place.
Mm-hmm.
Because the things that take place, good and bad, make you who you are.
That's right.
That's what we don't understand.
Yes, sir.
If I was a drug dealer pushing dope on the street, and my destiny gave me 20 years in the system, it was destined for me to go there to save me from being murdered.